The reason why I am here right now is to share a piece of history with all of you. Now, as you all know, I have spent a lot of time talking about smartphones and comparing one to the other and talking about what I'm looking for in a smartphone and my favorite features and whatnot. But I've never really gone into depth about my previous history with my cell phones. Now, in the midst of, doing some spring cleaning around the house, I came across a couple of old cell phones that I used to use back in my early years. This was back when I had no idea what a smartphone was. This was back when I had no idea that I could check my emails on my phone. Back in 2002, when I signed on for my first Verizon cell phone, I pretty much took whatever I could get at that moment. I was in a situation where I didn't know any better when it came to cell phones. I pretty much took whatever Verizon gave me because it was free. My first cell phone through Verizon. Look at that. You see how simple that is? This was back when I had no idea about smartphones. I had no idea about mobile office. I had no idea about checking emails. No idea whatsoever. I pretty much lived most of my life relying on communicating through either my office phone or through the landline at my main house. So as you can see, this model is as simple as you can get. Green screen, no camera, a regular numerical keypad. And believe it or not, when I first got this from Verizon, I was in my car and I had spent over an hour playing with this model. And you should have seen me. When I realized that there was even a built-in calendar to this thing, I was excited about this whole thing. And I look back on that now, and of course, right now, I think that was a pretty sad moment to be excited over a simple green screen phone. But at the time, I really didn't know any better. So it was kind of neat to find this laying around in my back closet. And what can I say? This is a piece of my personal cell phone history, and I just figured you guys would like to have a look at it. Now we're going to go on to the next model. Just to give you guys a quick rundown of how everything went, after signing on to Verizon for my first cell phone account, I stayed with Verizon for, a couple of months, but this is the Nokia 6255i. It's very funny to look back and think to myself, for a while, I actually thought this was the most advanced phone that I could ever get. It's a camera phone. It has a built-in flash. It's got a huge external screen. It's got a built-in antenna that also extends. It's a bulky CDMA model, a regular flip phone. Now, what attracted me the most to it was the way that it looked on the inside as well as the outside. I remember looking at this particular model in the nTelos store and thinking how the buttons reminded me of bathroom tiles. And seeing this crisp screen with its vibrant colors really just blew me away. And I'll turn it on for you guys right now. That was your typical Nokia. Now, another thing that stood out in getting this phone was not only the design. If you take a look there, you see how the keyboard is all lit up. But it was also my first camera phone as well as my first Bluetooth phone. Now, unlike Verizon, which crippled the hell out of their Bluetooth phones, nTelos pretty much left all of their Bluetooth phones alone. So it gave me the opportunity to be able to talk to my computer back and forth with my phone. It gave me the ability to transfer songs from my computer to the phone. And I really love the feature. Now, what makes the Nokia devices so advanced for their time is the fact that this phone has many uses. In addition to a 1.3 megapixel camera with an LED flash, there is a huge external screen, And then on the sides here, you have a number of buttons. You have this button here, which is a multitask button, and I'll get to that in a moment as to how you can use it. You have an infrared port. You have your mono speaker on the back here, and then at the top, you've got your antenna, your power button, as well as your headset port. And then on the opposite side, you have your rocker buttons, which controls the volume. Now, what makes this multitask button so great, it pretty much has 3 tasks assigned to it. If you take this button and tap it one time, it's basically a voice recorder. It is recording me right now as I am talking to all of you. But we're not going to get into a recording session right about now, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And as you can see, it was saved to the recording. Now, you can also use this same button to activate voice dialing, and I'll play that for you right now. But instead of a tap, you hold it down with a long press. When you're taking a self-portrait, that's where, once again, this button comes in. I've taken my picture, and as you can see there, voila! Needless to say, my first Nokia phone, pretty much opened me up to the world of phones in general, and it pretty much it made me aware of just how versatile a mobile device could be in one's life. No longer was a cell phone supposed to be, a regular flip phone that was meant for only calling people. It turned into a camera. It turned into a voice recorder. It turned into a music player. This was my first foray into becoming a tech addict. I eventually stayed with nTelos using this phone for a long time until I got hired at Apple. When I got hired to work for Apple, I found out that there was a discount where you could get 14% taken off your monthly bill as an employee through a company called Singular. At that point, I, of course, left nTelos, said bye-bye, and then I signed on with Singular under my own account and had my number ported over. When I first signed on to Singular, I discovered the Sony Ericsson W810i and pretty much got into that as a camera phone and recording video and playing music. And then I discovered the Trio 680. And that was my first moment in owning a QWERTY smartphone. And after giving up on the Trio 680 because it was too bulky, I decided to go with a second QWERTY smartphone from Singular at the time. And this phone was the Nokia E62, which is pretty much the lockdown version of the Nokia E61. From that point on, the rest is history. So I just wanted to take a quick moment just to share this with you guys. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to play show and tell to show you guys exactly where I came from. So, nothing special. Just figured y'all would like to see this. So on that note, I hope all of you are having a great day, and I will talk to all of you guys later. Take care.